Today we want to talk to you guys about why we promote buying lands instead of starting a business in Africa. And these are some valid points based on what we have seen thus far. And so we want to just put it out there. Maybe it will help you guys in some way, shape, or form. If you're thinking of coming to Africa, starting a business, consider this option. We're not saying go and buy lands there. We're saying consider the option of it. Yeah. So since we've been to the Gambia has been to the Africa, we've seen a lot of diaspora and come and they start business. Some of them, I wouldn't say successful. Some kind of successful. Some crash and burn. Because when it comes to starting business in Africa, there's a whole lot of things to think about.
That's true.
I know we want to bring new type of business and stuff like that, but we also have to understand that the population that is here is not necessarily used to certain kind of things yet. So you have to take your time and let them get familiar with certain business practices that are certain businesses that you are used to in the West versus what is already here in Africa. Let's say, for example, in Gambia there is a whole lot of hardware stores. There's too much hardware stores. And there's a whole lot of restaurants, and there's a whole lot of money collection agency, and a whole lot of corner shops. So if you come and you are starting a business in any of these industry that I just mentioned, you will find that you struggle a little bit because it's already populated. There's too much going on in there. So let's say for the restaurant business, a lot of people start, open restaurant, start to sell food. But when you realize the price point that you're going to sell the food for is not going to be the price point of a local person, right? Because tourists only, they are like seasonal. And most diasporans rather cook at them house and save money. So you'll find that the restaurant businesses fail faster because people just don't have the time or just don't want to spend the money to buy all these things, right? So if you own a piece of land, then you have a lot more option than if you actually go rent a shop and stock it and basically compete with the market that is already there. Yeah, so why is it promoted by us buying lands, that is, over starting a business? As we've said, we've been here going to 3 years now, and we've seen a lot when it comes to creating new type of businesses that is going to cater to the needs of the local community. Because you have to also understand that even though there's a lot of diasporans here, there's still not enough people to supplement. Like, there's not enough demand in certain areas of businesses that most diasporans will start. So for example, if you have a piece of land, there's a whole lot of things that you can do with that. One is agriculture. People need food to eat, and that's the thing that local people use every day, I should say. Grown produce, onions, scallion, thyme, pop chow, banana. I would say go cash crop, crops that are going to take anywhere from 3 to 6 months that you can take to the market and make money from. If you have a piece of land, you can definitely, start to do agriculture, take those food to the local market and make money from it. If you have a big piece of land, like a 500 by 500, or bigger size, like 1,000 by 1,000 or whatever like that, way out in the country area, you can easily just basically start agricultural business producing, let's say, strawberry, right? Because strawberry is needed here. Like, a lot of people want strawberry, but when you go in the store, if you go buy some strawberry, you can't find it, right? And if it's there, it's very expensive. So you realize that the demand for strawberries in Africa is extremely high, because people use it all the time. They use it in their smoothie, they use it in their cakes, they use it in anything that they can use strawberry in. So, a lot of people are demanding that. Another thing that people are, Gambians or Africans use a lot is onions. They use onions a lot. So, there are farmers here that are farming onions, but still, maybe if installing just the raw onion, maybe if you have a way to process the onions, to turn them into, they used to have this thing that we used to buy in Jamaica called onion bits, where they fry it and they package it and they sell it in the store, right? So that's another thing that you can do with your land. You can basically open up a manufacturing, you know, plant there, a manufacturing business there, where you manufacture grown produce that you produce, like grow on the land, and you can just package it and sell it. Like if it's banana, you can do banana chips or plantain chips, or you know, anything that you can package and ship, because you can do intercontinental continental trading when it comes to food. But if you have the land, it kind of take away, you know, you have to go to somebody else to get their land to use. You have control of your own land. It kind of give you a lot more power when it comes to taking your time to do your own thing. So that's one of the other reasons why I would promote, you know, buying a piece of land versus starting a business. So you don't have a lot of drama to deal with, because most lands in the Gambia are actually agricultural land already. So if you buy a piece of land and you want to use it for residence, you're going to have to change the use of that land to residence in order for you to, you know, build a facility on it, to then get another permit from another government facility. There's so much permit that you're going to need in order to do a development. It's not that easy, like, you know, to just buy and go and build a house on it. It's a tedious process, you know what I mean? And it's almost as tedious as basically starting a business, because when you're starting a business, it depends on the type of business. There's a whole lot of things that you're gonna have to register. There's a whole lot of things you're gonna have to do before you actually open up the business to start marketing. Yeah, you can do market research on a business, like, you know, let's say if you know what kind of business that local people like to patronize a lot, and you know an area that local people go to get these, or an area that local people want it but they don't have access to it, and you can provide it, then in that case you will definitely stand a high chance of dominating, you know, that area and making the money that you need to make. But from what we've seen, when it comes to the populated areas, there's a lot of people there that is already catering to local market with certain produce and certain things that they already need. So as I said, when you have a piece of land, you can do agriculture. Another thing that you can do with your piece of land, if you have it, is like, you know, turn it into like a getaway. Like, let me see, even if you're going to do construction there, you can do local construction there. Like, you know, the little hut house. I don't know if you guys know of that. You've seen these hut type houses here in the Gambia. You have a big land, let's say 100 by 100. You could just clean that land, you know, concrete a little small section of it and just make it nice and be like a small attraction there, right? Now that small attraction can make money, not just in the local market, but also, you know, tourism time, and on-season is here and it's not rainy season. A lot more people will come inside the Gambia and they will be all around. Most people don't even want to stay around the Senegambia area anymore. If they were aware of a place that they could go outside of the Senegambia area that is cost effective and, you know, is safe, they will definitely go there. You know, there's not enough attraction here in the Gambia as you would think, where people can go and really, you know, enjoy themselves and, you know, and their family. There's not a lot like that. So if you have a piece of land, you can definitely create an attraction, right? You could basically buy a piece of land near the river, like a land in Gunjur Berinding, and create a water attraction, right? So yeah, the river is right there. I don't know, you could use it for, you know, kayaking or whatever. I don't canoeing or something like that. Forgive me with the words right now. But you could definitely utilize the area like that and create an attraction that you can attract people there. You can make money, you know, in US or dollar, say either way, you're still making money, right? You could use that land for a community park, because there's not a lot of park here, right? There's not a lot of park here. There's a whole lot of young people here and they want activities to do, but there's not a lot of places for them to go, right? They have to stay around the Senegambia area. You know, there's nothing in Banjul for people to do, really. Banjul is a shopping district where people go and buy things and, you know, come back into this region and they sell it. But there's not a lot of things for people to do around the Banjul area. You know, Banjul here is the capital of Gambia, but there's not a lot of things to do there, right? So if you have like parks somewhere out in that area, out back, you know, past the Brikama area going back, then people will come there, you know. Also, another thing that you can do if you have a piece of land is like turn it into a venue, like for stage show. You know, Gambian love music. If you have like a venue where you're keeping regular events, you know, maybe you invest a little upfront money first. Maybe you use bamboo or something and build a fence around it and just call it a venue. You know, something. I don't know right now. You guys give me some ideas. But if you have something like that, then people will rent your venue out to basically keep their show like a stage show. Maybe they're inviting a big artist or, you know, a local artist that is popular and want to keep a show. People can drive and come and utilize the venue for that week or that night. And that is money that is coming to you. Another thing that you can do if you have a piece of land. Guys, there's so much, right? You can lease that land. So you have a piece of land that you own. You're not using it for nothing. Somebody wants to use the land for agricultural purposes. Nothing like building a permanent, you know, structure on it. But they want to just come and use it to plant some, you know, cash crops that they're going to take to market and then make some money from it. You could definitely just lease that land to the person. You could just lease the land to the person like 5, 6, 10 years, like a regular lease, right? So them rent the land from you basically. I would call it land renting, right? So they rent the land from you and you basically can make money from them per year, you know? I don't know. For example, maybe you could charge like $100,000 per year or something like that, just to give you a rough idea, depending on where the land is, you know, if there's borehole provided, fencing or anything like that, you know, then you can basically make money from that passively without even have to basically do nothing to your land. You could leave it with the trees like that. The person just rent it and use it for whatever they want to use it for, and then return your land at the time of the agreed end date where you agreed upon when it comes to leasing that land. So you have options when you have lands. When you start a business, you don't necessarily have no options. So when you're up in the business, if your business don't do well, you're gonna have to close that business down there. And so that's what has been happening to a lot of people. They start the business and the business don't take off as fast as they want it to take off, maybe because of lack of marketing, maybe because of lack of budgeting, maybe it's because of lack of market research, and then the business fail and they lose their money, because once the business fail, your money gone, you can't get it back, all of the bills that you pay, and then you're gonna have to find a way to sell those items that you have. But with a piece of land, you don't have to do that, right? You can just basically keep the land, leave it, sell it after 10 years. Here comes Jodi. So yeah, so basically you can do this when you have a piece of land versus when you're starting a business, right? So comment below and let us know what are some use that you would say that people could use their lands for versus starting a business. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? Comment and let us know. Also visit www.biamogroup.com if you want to buy a piece of land in the Gambia. Until next time, buy land and wait. Don't wait to buy land. I say go. Yeah. Accept knowledge, raise your frequency.
Protect your roots.
All right, we're out.